Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the Volpe Bazzo Report. I'm your co-host, Dominic Volpe. With me, Andy Bazzo.
And what's missing is Darren Rigger and Brian Fumagalli.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. But apparently they're at your casa.
Or either that, or it's a coup, and they plan on opening up their own show.
That's
through the rumor mill. We don't know how true this is.
But we have a very special guest, because normally we don't do guests on this show.
Right.
But we do have a special guest, and it's somebody that customers have gone into Dominic and my customers in the taxi said, when are you going to have the mayor on? So we are proud to have Pizza Mayor Andre Rainey.
Thank you sincerely. I'm proud to
Welcome,
be here.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you sincerely. It feels good to be here.
Well, you notice how you're overdressed for the show. We didn't tell you.
I realized that, but I figured without wearing a tie, I'd kind of like be in the middle.
Okay.
No, that's called we make him look good.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
First of all, I think he's about 20 years younger than both of us, so he already looks good.
He would look good even with our clothes on. He still look better than us.
Now, first thing I want to cover, because we only do have a half hour.
You got it.
Customers, people have been asking the cab, the new traffic patterns down at the train station. Why? Because there's a mixed reaction there. Some people think it's a great thing, one way in, one way out. But is it anything to do with the fact that the old ticket office, the old Kelly's, is finally going to open up and you're going to have so many viable businesses? It was something that was necessary to do.
You also want to keep in mind of safety. I mean, there's a lot of people utilizing the actual riverfront now. So I think safety is the main concern, or the primary concern, before anything. Knowing that that's going to open with the amount of traffic we get, and then you got to keep in mind all of the events, especially during the summertime. Like, to have traffic flowing different ways, you don't want it to be congested like New York City.
I don't know, just people were asking because they caught them all by surprise. I thought it had to do because it's true that Old Kelly's is going to open again, right? There is a buyer now, or a renter.
Yes, there is talks about it. We're still in the beginning stages of
I
that.
thought they had an architect.
I haven't met the architect or seen the actual design yet, if there is. But I have heard the conversations about what they're trying to do, what they would like to do.
I mean, it's going to be interesting, Dominic. Think about it. You're going to have Pixel Brewery, Taramina's, Taco Dive Bell, Buns and Burger, and Bourbon. I haven't drank it since '87, so I don't think about bourbon anymore.
But you missed the most important person on that block, that strip, Home Styles.
Right, the Home Style Bakery. Yeah, but they're usually closed when the rush hour comes.
At nighttime, correct.
But what I'm saying, you're going to have all these viable businesses going on. I agree with you about the safety issue, and I understand that. But considering the fact that most of those businesses are all closed by 10 o'clock.
Are the ones you just named?
Yeah, except for Pixel Brewery, which is on Water Street.
Well, no, even the Buns and
Bourbon.
10 o'clock, they're gone.
Really?
They close at 10.
Oh, you're like during the week, probably.
Yeah, they're shut down by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Is it necessary to have that traffic pattern all night long? Because there's no cars coming, there's no people. But now it's in the evening when the trains switch tracks a lot for repairs. So that means they all got to go up the hill and down the hill, when it would be just easier to become, because then they may miss before the gate goes down and get stuck on the wrong side of the track.
Yeah, but we've had an issue with signage in Peekskill for a pretty long time. And I think that knowing that if we were to put you could drive this way during these hours and you can't drive this way during these hours, it would be more of a strategic way of doing it, where we can actually convey the message clearly. We have parking issues that we found out through a one-year study, that the parking is not the actual issue, it's actually the signage. People can't understand the signage. So before we make any more adjustments on when and where and how, what time you can and can't, we need to actually figure out how to
but now you got to think about the winter. I know you live here, but it does snow in the winter.
Without a doubt.
And the roads get slick and icy. Do you really want them trying to go up Weequahic and stopping in the middle of that hill in inclement weather and then try to go again?
Yeah. Do I want them to? I don't want anybody to drive in an area that could be causing that kind of damage. But what I will say is, if it's worked for, how old is Weequahic Street?
They always went out straight in inclement weather. They didn't go up Weequahic. because they could see the car sliding down.
Well, that is a proactive approach to it. So if that's the case, that's something we can look at. But
That's what I'm saying. Is this on the radar to discuss? Because you just started this in nice weather.
Yeah.
You haven't done this in the nasty.
Or it could be something only temporary, because it doesn't usually the chief of police. They're usually the ones.
Give us the opinion,
right?
On it, and
exactly.
we say, okay, we appreciate your professional opinion, so we go for it.
I understand that, but the last chief to come down to the train station actually was Johansson.
That's too
Tumalo never came down. I'm saying the only chief that ever actually came down to observe things was Johansson. Tumalo had to take everybody's word for it. And sometimes if you're going to make rules and regulations regarding something, you should actually see something firsthand.
And now, you know what? I appreciate that, because I actually agree with you 110%. But would you think that we would make a decision like that without him actually taking a look?
I don't know, because I don't remember seeing him there. I've only been there for 20 years.
Well, you wake up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe
mean,
it was there at
about
7 o'clock
24 hours
in the
in a
morning.
day.
Yeah, but the rush hour's at night.
And that's when you're there.
That's when I'm there.
Okay.
But
so
what I'm saying, I'll tell you, you know how we got the taxi spots in the back of the train? There used to only be 4 of them in the front of the train station by the ticket office.
Oh, really?
But I made the chief come down, and I said, we need the spots back there. On the other
area where they go now, they all park.
We need that. He says, why? I says, watch the train come in. And he stayed there for 2 hours. And he saw how everybody was coming from the back of the train, not from the front. He says, why is that? I says, because in Grand Central Station, that's the front
of the train, right.
So that's why all of them are back there. And that's why we all risked getting tickets parking back there, because that's where the people were. And that's how we got the taxi spot on the other side of the walk, because that's where the people were. Because unless you knew, unless you observed and understood why that was happening, it made sense to have it in front of the train. You would think the front of the train is where the people were.
Right, but from Grand Central is a different story.
That's the
So that would be definitely something that we would speak to the chief about and see if there's cause for change. I mean, like I said, if it's a winter thing, a summer thing, then I'm sure that we'll get the message clear.
Well, I'm just saying it will be something, but these are things in customers' minds, and I'm trying, and I told you I wouldn't sandbag, but these things people deal with every day, and that's why you have mixed results or mixed reaction on this new traffic pattern, because people say, what if? Some of the what ifs I ignore, because they you know how people can.
Yeah, I wish I can't do that though, but I understand what you're saying.
Right, but I can. But the more prevalent ones, like especially with the inclement weather and all that, that is something. I said, okay, I promised them I would bring it up to you,
okay,
and and they wanted to know about the old Kellys, because everybody's been waiting for that to
That's
happen.
going to be an exciting thing. I really can't put too much out there yet. There's a process which everybody's aware of. Whenever you get a new property, you have your ideas of what you want to put there, what's going to be there, and
And it really, in the end, it's really up to Metro North, because it's still their property.
It's still their property.
It's their call.
But but I mean, they are working on negotiating some type of.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, but the important thing is that for years there was nothing going on.
Well, how long has Kelly's been vacant?
Since the old man died.
Which is what?
It's got to be 8 years now, at least 8 years. Yeah. It's been empty.
Well, no, the old man died, but then the younger one, Tommy, took over there for a little while.
Right, but then Metro North tried to double his rent.
They doubled his rent, and he said
They thought
goodbye.
that was Tavern on the Green, not Riverfront Green, so it didn't work.
Central Firehouse, how are we doing? Looking
so,
good.
I mean, yes, we're looking
that
really good.
Is an amazing.
Listen,
they finally took the bags off.
Yeah.
That is an amazing.
It looks really good.
So when are we going to name it the Mayor Andre Rainey?
The funny thing, I was thinking the same thing. I'm glad we think alike. Oh my God, I was excited to hear that. So, but yeah, it looks like we're finally at a great process. We're looking at September.
That's what I figured. Looking at the work.
They're working hard at it now, and there's just
they really did a magnificent job.
They did. You can't deny that.
I saw them today. They're pouring the cement. So they stepped the building up in order to give it a little grade coming down to. And I tell you, the concrete, the way it looks.
I
they
heard
open
one
it
of
up
the
and
one
it's
of the
absolutely-
You know how
is it
exciting
true
it
one of the
is?
stipulations for the firehouses they had to bring their uniforms to Dominic for dry cleaning? Or else
Yes, it was. They wanted a $7,000 dryer.
That's what you said. They got to go to.
Go to Dominic. Like,
I knew
Get outta here. That's
I knew you
crazy.
had lost your I
Like
knew
what?
you had
Matter of
lost
fact, catch a cab with Bob and get in there, go to Dominic. This is crazy. This is crazy. No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're really getting far, and I will say it's a true blessing to be able to be the one to open it, knowing the process it's taken. I mean, it's
Inauguration and all
been
that, yes.
it's been since Tessa's administration. There's been conversations and there's been process and there's been delays and challenges, and to finally be here, it's an exciting moment.
Right? Isn't it true? Like the funding, is it? I mean, I know I'm sure there's taxpayer money involved.
Taxpayer money,
But the way I
transfer
understand was the transfer tax that
Transfer
I
tax
think
that
Mary
really put a-
right. She was
Mary
the one.
Foster did
Right.
initiate that, and under her administration, and that's what really pushed the envelope.
Correct.
as
Now
far
the
as-
transfer tax is when someone sells a house or property in
Yeah.
the city of Peekskill, 1% of that
Goes to
the transfer
this
tax, and
funding,
what that
right.
is, it's a fund.
So as
on
you fill
purpose.
up your monopoly board, you don't have to pay it by buying those properties. You only
Well,
have to-
sure, but I don't have to pay it as buying it. Only the seller does. If I sell, then
got him
then
on
I got him on that one.
That's right. You know,
I
we've
can't
not-
drink. I'm not drinking any more water in between
You know, you never sat down and had a conversation. You only heard about me. You never had an actual conversation.
I will not be drinking anymore. Listen to you two. But yeah, the transfer tax is what really pushed the envelope for that. So
Sure, because it's the fund. It's the economic engine behind it that really funded this and got this
100%,
thing.
yeah,
Because
100%.
talking is one thing, and it is important to get the talk started, and then you get the plans and everything. But without the money, it would have been just another.
You got to keep that in mind. That's very true.
Right. Yeah, I got another thing. We got the old Janums.
Oh, we're done with the firehouse already.
For now, yeah, because we have a half hour.
We'll
and
bring
I-
it back on when it's time to.
Okay, all right. Yeah, there you go. All right.
But no, I want to get a couple of, I want to get as many of my, because I got these people that ride with me every day, and I don't want them not to ride with me. Like, I'm just going to ride with somebody else. They don't listen to me. So at least
I need to take a ride with you. That's what I need to do.
Anyway, the old Janungs, I heard, and we hear that's
The old.
workman's
the
comp
old
building.
workers'
Oh, okay,
compensation.
okay.
I'm
okay,
sorry,
yeah,
I
was
dated
like-
He's
myself.
much younger
like,
than us. You got to understand that.
Like, the old what?
I forgot you're a kid. I understand. I understand.
Workers' comp. Now we're on the same page. I got you.
Okay, what's going on with that? Because we heard that there's a guy that's interested in
There's
buying
a-
it. He
there's a-
already bought it.
Yeah, there's a guy that's interested. He's already bought it, and he's looking to collaborate with the Hudson Valley Center for Contemporary Arts.
That's the one on Main
That's-
and Grant.
Yes,
Correct.
right behind the Behrens.
Right
House
behind the Behrens.
and-
That's
Soda
Olivia
Mini
Strauss was
Yes,
the
yep,
owner.
Olivia
Yes.
Strauss, yep. So
Right.
what they're doing is they're collaborating, and they're looking to turn that building into a museum on the first floor, and a hotel and boutique on the second and third floor.
Oh wow.
See, this is the same things everybody's heard. Then the first question they ask, where are they going to park the cars?
Well, that's the reason that it's like again, it goes to that process again. You know, we don't want too much more development to come in without having some sort of parking plan, because we went through that stage already. And the other thing also is, even though it's a small hotel boutique, when the Hudson Valley Contemporary Arts, when they host events there, you get triple the amount of people
Correct.
that they have. And
Correct.
so if we
Well,
have
look how they park when the Paramount's got a good show.
Right,
They're
yeah.
all over the place.
Right, so
and they got parking.
Exactly. So imagine having like a Cinco de Mayo event or a St. Patrick's Day event, and the art museum has an actual event on that
Forget it.
same weekend.
It'll be gridlock.
Then I mean, City Hall's gonna be packed.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's where am I supposed to park my car?
Yeah.
So
No, well,
we'll-
not only that, but on Monday they're going to be screaming at you.
yeah, that's
going,
what I'm saying.
the
Yeah,
heck
City
is-
Hall.
yeah.
That Monday it'll be a long night. So, and I can't just ignore it like lucky people can.
No, but the question is, where could they possibly put parking to accommodate it?
Well, that's the hard question right now. But
Yeah.
they're looking at
I
areas.
said I wouldn't sandbag you. I didn't say I was going to ask you.
Oh no, I appreciate it, because it's the truth. People need to know, because if we're bringing new development in and we talk about, we want to make sure we stay focused on the parking and the needs of the community and the residents, then those questions are good to ask. So the area that we were looking at was, I believe, it's privately owned, right next to the was that Pugsley Park right
Yeah.
there? So right in between Pugsley Park.
Or where the building
and-
burned down. Next to the
Is this before '83? I don't know.
no, it was when I brought it here, right next to the Salvation
right.
Army.
So that little
remember the
area-
building that you?
The YMCA.
Yeah, that burned down.
That was a YMCA.
YMCA.
Yeah, but it burned down.
Wow. But that area is one of the areas that we're looking to hopefully work with the owner and see if we can turn that into parking
like an
area,
auxiliary
yeah.
parking lot or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I didn't
know.
know that was still privately
And that's a good.
owned.
And if that does work out, it's good because the people who are in the hotel can actually see their parking.
Yeah.
So that'll be a benefit for them as well.
Quick question, Dunkin' Donuts on Main. What's going on with that? I mean, I said I wouldn't deal with Facebook, but that is a good question. Everybody's wondering, how long does it take a Dunkin' Donuts to open up?
Well, wait a minute. It only costs, I believe, $350,000 just for the franchise.
Listen.
Then you got to buy everything through Dunkin' Donuts. It's not like they come in and they say, "Here's what you're going to do."
You know,
here's how much
we
it
don't
is.
know what takes longer, the Firehouse or Dunkin' Donuts, but we're working towards it. Now, there were some issues that the city had to, work out with Dunkin' Donuts because I wasn't fully aware of what was going on at first or why it was taking so long as well. So, there's some.
Is it the same owner from the one that's over on Washington Street? Because typically they're given franchises and they're given regions where they can only open it up. So I'd almost be surprised if it was another person who actually was given the right for the franchise.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't confirm that for sure.
Oh, okay.
But I thought so.
The two people that own the ones, because they own a bunch of them in
Like
the
3
area.
or 4.
I know they own the one by Coles. They
more
own
like
the
5 or
one in
6.
Mohegan.
Yeah.
They own the one on Mayapack. They own
Correct.
Jefferson Valley and the one on Mayapack going up to the Somers County.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, I
like
can't
5 or
imagine
6, and
somebody
even
else
the one
doing
in Yorktown now too. So, and the family, Paul and Teresa, I know them, and they've told me that I think the family owns something like, if I'm not mistaken, close to 45 or 50 stores.
I've known them
between
since
here
their kids were this
and-
tall,
and
running around,
Boston,
and
yeah.
they're fun. They've always treated me and Tommy well.
Oh, no, they're great. They're
no,
very
as
good.
owners,
Yeah.
I mean, they have a monopoly, but they don't act like they have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
monopoly.
yeah. Very humble.
And that's
yes.
very tough.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good to know.
And
Yeah.
I see,
Yeah.
and the workers seem to be fine with it. You'll always have some malcontents in any big organization, but
Of course.
all in all, I see the ones that have been there a number of years,
Right,
and
right,
nobody's going to stay there
Well,
that
and not only
long.
that, they don't hire managers. They're on the ground between
Yeah.
all the stores constantly.
Oh,
going
yeah, I
back
see
and
them
forth.
all
So
over
they,
the place.
They know what's going on.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to that grand opening. I think more people are excited about that than a lot of the things that are opening in Peekskill.
Well, I'm gonna give you. Now it's time again for the tough one.
No. Let's go because development. Still got Fort Hill.
I
across the
said
street.
I'm gonna. That's why I said now comes the tough one again.
If we go back to taxis, I'm gonna go out
No.
and I'm gonna punch one of your
Absolutely not.
tires.
You've got the new building that opened on Main. Now the one behind the Divin is almost done.
Almost
Correct.
done.
Then you've got the ones on Fort Hill.
Right.
Yes.
Now and the ones right by Spring Street on Main.
Yes, the
Okay.
Gateway
Now
project, they
I
call it.
see that a lot of these places have accommodated parking for their residents.
Tenants, yeah.
Question: where are the guests going to park?
I think that the requirement was a space and a half per tenant.
And those
So if
little
you have 16 units, I believe it is, at a space and a half, you're.
So you're allowed-
Wait. Let's go by one though. What one are we talking about? 'Cause
Well,
you
this
gave
one,
me-
any of them, where are you going to put the guest parking?
Well, the one
because
that's-
unless
the-
what if they want company and it's like 2 people?
Well, the
Yeah,
gate.
yes.
Well, but the gateway though, they've got that big.
You
space in
can
between.
still. I
Yeah.
mean, people still park on Main Street though. People do
Yeah.
still park on Main Street, and so that.
But you're going to have to change some of the parking regulations then.
Of course, you probably will more than likely have to.
The
yes.
other thing is, you got the one on Divin and the one on
That could be a problem.
Fort
I
Hill.
can see that one.
How
yes.
are you going to fit all those cars
That-
on those little tiny roads
Yeah.
going
see,
up
that
and
could-
down
that could be
when
sticky.
people are going
No,
to work
it not
and
even
coming
could be.
home?
It already is sticky. That when that was approved, and again, this is why we're trying to focus going forward.
Yeah.
Projects that come in, we need to encourage developers to have a parking plan. Even as great as development,
Driving plan.
as great as the development may be. I mean, there was a suggestion of starting to get the bike racks because we want to promote biking. A lot of people that we're promoting to, or that are actually investing in these type of like the artist lofts, they're coming from the city. So we're keeping in mind that a lot of them are used to walking.
See, I could do this on
So
TV.
I believe it. It's just
Yeah,
show. It's just
cable-
show.
no,
You can
cable
do a
you
lot
can
of things that I can't.
That's right.
Put
You know,
you on the
Darren
council.
Darren
Put him on the
found-
council.
Darren found out we could say shit on cable.
Holy sh!
Yeah.
So, but no, parking is a challenge. We're looking at designated parking for those residents, how we're going to fit them. the parking study did do a great deal for us. It opened the eyes to the fact that there is a lot of open spaces that aren't
parking,
utilized.
but the traversing the roads. Spring Street is, I know you made it now 2 ways, but it's still a tiny little road. Forget Belden, forget Divon. What are you going to do at rush hour when people are going to work or coming back, and you get some idiot, what you see now? I mean, you see it every winter when you're not allowed to park on the street for the snowplow, and they park on the street. What are you going to do when the idiots decide, I'm going to park?
Not only that, Fort Hill alone, as you come out of this, it's only one access road there.
That's right.
So I mean, to be honestly, truthful, some of the ideas that came, to the council prior, or whatever.
Doesn't matter prior before. You've got to move forward. It's what's going to happen now.
we have to encourage smart driving, as you mentioned. Like we can't control the idiots, but we can encourage smart driving. And we know that parking has been an issue in Peekskill for a while. The alternative parking sides has been an issue, especially during the winter months when it doesn't snow. People don't want to move their car. When it does snow, you got people from other blocks moving their car on your street. So it's been a challenge. So
see, my answer would be, I didn't tell you to buy a house without a driveway. That would be my answer. If you're parking on my street, I get you, tell you what the rules and regulations are. Because I didn't tell you to buy a house without a driveway. It's like,
I don't know if that's the
No, I'm saying as a taxi.
Okay.
No, as a taxi. I am not required to take anybody home if it's going to endanger me or the passengers in the car. So like during the winter, somebody lives on Grant. I don't have to travel all the way up on Grant. I can drop them off at the nearest flat intersection, whether it be Park or Lincoln Terrace.
Right, and you tell that before.
Yes, because I didn't tell you to buy the house on top of Grant.
But you can't take 202 and go.
No, I'm saying I can drop them off at the top. What I'm saying is I don't have to transverse Grant itself.
Well, you should do it the opposite way. Go up 202, take the left, and just come down with brakes
on. I'll tell you what I found
and hold on until you hit the building.
Wait till I'm not the mayor before you
No. I found this out coming down from Hampton Oaks. People get mad when you use the side of their car as a brake. They get mad at that.
That's actually where I got into my accident on Hampton Oaks, Oakwood Drive.
Yeah.
I drove up the hill and I slid backwards, and there's like a little island right there.
Now you know my problem with Weequa.
Yeah.
In the winter. Now you just described the problem I see happening on
I slid
Weequa.
backwards all the way down. Turned the car. I was turning like trying to do the ducking and dodging, and the what I learned in school about driving when you're sliding never worked.
When it comes to ice.
Yeah, none of it worked. It worked. And I slid right into the island and broke the axle.
Now I will give you. I got to tell this out here because my running joke coming from Yorktown, and we have a great highway department. We used to laugh at Peekskills. That's no, we used to, but these last couple of years, the highway department in the bad weather is night and day from when I first started driving a cab. People were afraid to even be on the road if they thought it was going to snow because they knew that the DPW was not great at maintaining the streets. But now that they have done such a great job these last few years.
Who's the director?
Brent Vincent?
Yep.
Yeah, Brent Vincent.
I don't know who it is,
Yeah.
but I know you told and just people have noticed.
Yeah. Yep. You know what also too? I mean, they do a phenomenal job, and we always try to acknowledge them and give them credit. Even when there's not a storm going on, we try to show our appreciation to what they do. But they really do, January, or matter of fact, January 1, there was a water main break. My first day in office, I was literally getting emails. And I tell people this all the time. I was literally getting emails saying, "Congratulations! I'm so happy you won, but I have no water. What are you going to do?"
Right.
So it's like, okay, can I do my inauguration speech first? Didn't work on that, but we went out there. Me and Councilman Fernandez went out there that night, probably like around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, just to see, because I didn't know what a water main break really was. And we went out there to see it. And these guys, you're talking, 20-degree weather, 15-degree weather outside,
10
freezing,
feet down,
10
trying
feet
to cut
down
down
with
a pipe.
water going all over their lower bodies while they're digging and cutting and everything. And it's like I'm in a coat, long johns on, a pair of pants on. I'm walking back and forth to the car to heat
and you're
up.
freezing just watching
and
them.
they're literally down there for an hour and a half, and in 15 minutes, every 15 minutes I walk to my car to sit in the heat for a little while. So they really put their work in. They really do.
Dominic, our mutual friend is the Yorktown Highway Department head.
Wait, am I a mutual friend? Can I be considered a mutual friend?
Of course, absolutely.
Of course you can.
Okay.
But
continue.
we've known Paganelli for years. And his first day on the job as highway superintendent, he came from the restaurant business. Was the blizzard of
The storm that knocked all those trees.
That knocked down all those trees. Was it 4 years ago?
Yeah.
On January 1st.
Yeah, the trees are still down in Yorktown.
No. But now you thought you had. And I think I told you that on the street. I said you got trial by fire. That
Yes. I remember
think
that,
I told
'cause
you that.
Yeah, it was a water main breaks, and it was
Yeah.
power outage.
He had the
and
trial by
snowstorm,
fire, and you did all right.
everything. We did. But you know what? I think the greatest thing about it was I really was concerned about what's going on. So it's like when they said water main breaks, why are these happening? So I went down there to see it. I spoke to David Rambo. He's our water super, and he just
Yeah, it used to be ours.
Oh, that's right. He did come from Yorktown. Yeah. So, and I spoke with Johansson. We all kind of like sat down and had a meeting, and I was like, I wonder if I just let the public know that this isn't like a Democrat fault or a mayor's fault.
Oh, please, people know this has been going on multiple generations.
But I don't know.
Don't
why
get
this
that paranoid. People, you may get some people that blame you for the snow, but most people know that it's not your fault.
What was LaGuardia's line? They don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican. They just want the garbage picked
Well,
up.
that's why I always said local
That's it.
I said that. I've done that in my columns many times. Local elections, party affiliation doesn't matter. You don't have a printing press for money in the basement of City Hall, so you got to balance your budget like
Right.
everybody else.
It's a tight
So
budget,
it's
yes.
a matter of and still get the garbage picked up and the
Right.
police department
Quality services.
and
for the
all that.
community.
You still got to do that.
That's right.
And so party affiliation is really not that imperative on the local level. You don't have veto. There's no patronage. You don't have any of the goodies the other, the other
The
levels
benefits,
of,
right?
The other levels of government have. You don't have any of those goodies.
So with only 2 minutes left, so as a mayor, give us the thing that you like the most about, and maybe start it off as so far maybe the thing the least you like about it, or
Probably Facebook.
I actually got out of a lot of the Facebook groups. The thing I like least about it is it probably is the fact of knowing that there's false information that is so easy to believe.
because you mean through Facebook or just in general?
Just in
Social
general.
media.
Yeah,
Twitter,
social media.
Twitter's
I mean,
the same. Twitter
I
is the
just-
same
I mean, you
sewer.
could even come up to a podium and just, I can come up to the podium. Somebody come to the podium and say, Mayor Rainey, I watched you on, Bazzo and Dominic's show the other day, and I can't believe that Bazzo cursed you out like that.
Right.
Now, it's not true, but everybody who's watching that council
Because
meeting,
I said shit.
Because
yeah.
because they said
"Oh my
something,
God,
boom,
yeah,
they're
and
gonna-
he's
yeah.
that type of guy.
Right,
Bazzo
right.
doesn't like blackballed guys, or it'll get twisted and stuff.
Right,
like that.
right.
Different.
Oh, I
So
see.
I think that part bothers me about.
I hate
this.
all ball people.
Great minds, huh? So I think that part bothers me the most because there's a lot of information that needs to get out there, but on a bigger scale, positive peace scale. There's a lot of great things happening out here that people just don't know about yet.
Right.
So making sure that's out. One of the greatest things is you get invited to see and meet so many people. Had I not done this, I would have never got to spend a week or a night in or a day in Governor Cuomo's office, for example, or probably wouldn't be on the show.
And
here
that was
today,
the good thing.
I mean, as for the experience,
I would
that
have
was a
thought
really
really George
good
on
thing.
deck would have rated it give it up higher than that.
Hey, and I became George on deck's friend.
Andy is George's friend too. Matter of fact, George wants to come on the show.
My father told me there were always people on your side you wish was on theirs.
Mayor,
Yes.
great show.
No, thank you
Thanks.
for having me.
one more
Hope you
thing
come back up.
before-
It's over. It's finished.
I know, but I just want I want to
it
be,
in, squeeze it
no,
in.
I want to
Okay,
be
go,
cut
go.
off, and people are going to say, "What
was he
that
talking about?"
What was he going to talk about?" They're now going to want to know. See, now everybody's going to say, "What did he
What
ask
did he
you?"
say?
Yeah.
You know what? I thought you were going to say that about the flag.
Never comes up in the discussions.
Interesting.
People are cared about getting from point A to point
The
B.
real
In my
issues.
line of work.
In the real issues.
In my line of work, people are more